Okay, here we are in the Nintendo Switch's home menu, and we've got Colors Live right here. I'm going to select it. Okay, here we are in the Nintendo Switch home menu. We've got Colors Live ready to roll. Click it to enter. Now what you're seeing here is the option I picked to draw on a 16:9 widescreen canvas. You're also looking at the page 50% zoomed out. This is how it would look like zoomed in, or otherwise the standard 100. You could also zoom in 200, 400, up to 800%. If you're drawing in 800%, let me just do one line. That's a very thick line, right? That's probably my previous setting. But now you zoom out, that's how much it actually took up on the 100% regular page, okay? Now let's see what I did and what options do I currently have. So I've currently been using this thick brush, and in its middle format and at its most dark option. Let's go with a thinner brush and show what that looks like. So that same 100%, if I zoomed in, you can still see the difference in line thickness between those two. This has a lot of art tools. Its wheel is very convenient too. You can see that not only do I have a good variety of colors right here in the wheel, but in the inner triangle itself, I could really change how dark or light, different shade I want of whatever color I pick. So there's tons of options, thousands of options of blue, of green, etc. Having the ability to go in and out, zooming in means, okay, I could zoom in. I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom left of the page. And let's see, what do I have right now? I have this normal sketch, super thin green, and I could make these giant blades of grass, right? And if I want to, I could really slow down and focus on just how I want to make each blade of grass. And you could imagine the detail that you could do with flowers at this level. Of course, you know, you'd have to add multiple colors in and whatnot, but just picture for a moment 800% zoom in, drawing any object at this level, and then zooming out and seeing that little tiny green plant occupy what's a giant scene, right? That's some of the stuff that you could do. If I go back into tools, I look at other things. You've got classic hard as a line, classic soft, classic bristle, dynamic size, eraser, hard lazy brush, and sketch. Sketch is the standard that we're using right now. Eraser works like this. You know, you go big, you could erase the whole screen just like that. I like to go middle for a lot of the work that I do. Let's get some red going on in the background. Let's make the red kind of darkish. Let's find just the right red that I'm looking for. Okay, now how thick do I want it? Let's make it not that thin. Somewhere there. Okay. Now I want to be zoomed out 100%. So I'm going to color my whole background in this 100% red. Now, it also depends on how hard you're pressing on the screen. See, if I press harder, I get more color out of the pen. Now, you don't have to push that hard. In fact, this does have some different color sensitivity options. Right now, I'm going over my whole screen. Of course, as I'm going over my old red, that will start to darken up regardless of how hard I press. Okay, got a nice red background. semi-transparent, not fully. Let's go over here and pick black, and we're going to go with a relatively thin line, but we're not going to zoom in. I'm just going to see what I could do from here. Of course, the more you zoom out, or the more you zoom in, I should say, like if you're going into that 800% territory, you're really going to get into some detail. Right now, I'm just going to create a simple little sketch. Okay. It's nice because I've been looking forward to having a drawing app of some sort land on Nintendo Switch for a while, and this thing is fantastic. You've got pressure sensitivity. You could turn off pressure sensitivity if you just want to have everything remain neutral. You could zoom in, you could zoom out. You could share your artwork online with others and be a part of a cool community. Your Nintendo Switch screen is safe. I happen to have a screen protector on mine, but even if I didn't, the screen is safe thanks to this plastic shield. See, when I first started drawing, some of you were probably wondering, what's he drawing? At this point, I think it's hopefully starting to become a little more clear, right? Now maybe I will zoom in. See, and here's where the beauty of the zoom in really comes into handy. If I was spending more time right now, I would certainly zoom in, but I was trying to draw the majority of this without zooming in. But that's the beauty of this tool. If you want to get in really detailed, by now I could say spoiler free, I'm drawing Bowser. See, normally I have this much control over his teeth. If I want to make the teeth really detailed, well, zoom in, and now I'm basically working with what's like a smaller pen, right? Or a pen under a microscope, perhaps more accurately. I'm using the left button on the D-pad, on the left Joy-Con rather, I suppose, more technically. To push, I grab, and see, that's how I spin around. Otherwise, when you touch the screen, you're putting ink on there, right? If you hold it, then you're not putting ink. We're giving Bowser a few teeth. Accidentally tapped it that time. That was bad. My bad. Gonna have him have a little flame ready to roll. And zoom out. Okay, now we got our Bowser going on, right? You know what? I'm gonna zoom in. I wasn't planning on spending a lot of time on this, nor am I necessarily going to now, but might as well make it look a little more decent, right? I'll zoom in some more. Now, if you only draw zooming in, you could be in for a rude awakening when you look at your drawing and say, hey, that's way too small. That's not the vision that I had in mind, you know? So maybe zoom out, get your base of how far you want it to be. Now go ahead and zoom in the more detailed look. So basically pick your distance. Otherwise you may put in a ton of detail and then look back and say, okay, that's too small. I wasn't planning on drawing this massive, you know, artwork, this massive photo. If you want to do some kind of landscape, I'd definitely say zooming out. You could probably get in some kind of Breath of the Wild quality. Well, if you're that good, some Breath of the Wild quality official Nintendo artwork. you know, where you're just looking off in the distance and you're seeing castle, volcano, everything. Okay, how are we coming along? Not bad. Okay, Bowser's coming along, right? Now we're going to add in some flames behind him. Bowser is definitely one of my favorite characters in video gaming. Yeah, this pen is really responsive. It's not available yet to the majority public. I'm fortunate to have been a part of the campaign to get the project rolling. Oh, I kind of messed up there. Let's erase that. I'm gonna have to go over it. Okay, no big deal. Let's go back to our red, and we want a medium thickness, something like this, the way we did. See if I can match it. Slightly different color, but that's okay. This is gonna have a lot of colors in the end anyways. But for now, I'll try to get a little bit better. Okay, that's fine. More colors to come now. I'm gonna go over things a little bit more thick now. Okay. Yeah, this is fun. See, I like to have depth. And speaking of depth, this drawing app allows you to have a lot of depth in your colors. You could really do a lot. You could have multiple layers, and you see how that looks a little off. And I said it's fine because I'm going to do multiple colors anyways, but you could do it so that you cannot erase over old stuff, and that could be handy. So you wouldn't mess up your old work. Like if I drew a new line right here, I could erase it and it wouldn't erase over Bowser's eyebrow, for instance. You have that option too. So it really does give you a lot. But now let's start going into some more color. We're going to need this to be fairly thick. And like I said, starting to get in some different shades of red and some darker red. All right, how's that? Yeah, maybe a little too dark for my taste, but I'm going to go over it again. So cool. It's all going to blend in nicely. Okay. Change up the red a bit. Go down in the thickness. Go down in the brush. Let's start to fill in some areas here. Ooh, looking scary, right? Now, we need to do some arms. And Bowser's arm color is somewhere in this zone. Okay, so we're back, and this is my final Bowser created on the Colors SonarPen app. This will be coming out soon, like I mentioned earlier, on the Nintendo Switch eShop. I was a part of the early campaign, so I received my pen and the digital eShop code in advance, but I'm definitely recommending this to the public once it does become available. I had to stop recording my video earlier and drawing for that matter rather abruptly, but once I was able to finish, I spent a little bit more time on my Bowser, and there are a couple of cool things that I could show you, including one, you could export this, saving the picture or the video to your Nintendo Switch itself. You could put this on Twitter or on your Facebook. There's also a publish to gallery, which is neat because there's a community on the Colors SonarPen app, and that lets you write a comment of yours, see other people's drawings, etc. You could continue your artwork if you would like, which is also pretty cool. Not a bad first attempt at drawing something. Bowser turned out cool, it was fun. And yeah, that's about it for now. There's a quest, there's tutorials that you could follow from other people, and I'm definitely gonna start drawing more often because it's something I really enjoy, and the Nintendo Switch being such a versatile machine, this is just one more awesome thing to have on it that I think if you're a fan of art, Colors SonarPen is definitely well worth checking out. All right, this is Paul Gale Network. See you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm looking through the camera. That makes it difficult sometimes. Okay, bye.